Welcome back to the Sandwich Generation Pod. I'm Robyn.
And I'm Eliesa. And today we're talking about something deeply unsexy but wildly necessary.
Getting your shit together. Specifically paperwork shit, life admin shit, the stuff you don't think about until something happens and then suddenly you need everything right now.
Because if you're caring for kids and parents, you're not just sandwiched emotionally, you're sandwiched administratively too.
Today's episode is about creating what we're calling the Sandwich Survival Binder. It's not fancy, it's not perfect, it's just findable.
And let's just say this up front, you do not need to do everything we talk about today. If you do just one thing after listening to this podcast, get one folder, one document, have one conversation, that all counts. This also applies to your parents and to you.
Let's get into it. I'm sure you've been in this situation. I've been in this situation. You need a document. You need your power of attorney paperwork. You need your parents' bank accounts. And you're just like, yep, hold on. Shit, I'll be right back. I got to get that. Where the fuck did I put that? Where the fuck did I put that? Did I print it out? Where are the passwords? I feel like this is my daily life.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if it's going to be fixed after we do this episode, but because I suffer from non-organizationism or whatever.
Sure.
I suffer from that, it does not come naturally to me, but I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I study the act of organizing, maybe I'll be better at it.
It's something that you aspire to be.
I do.
Don't
really
we all,
do.
though? Like, truly, don't we all? I mean, this is something that truly is at the top of my to-do list. My birthday present, to myself this year, I made a list of the documents that I want to put in place for myself, not just my parents, but myself too. And my birthday was in October and I've gotten nothing done yet. So I feel the paperwork and this great gathering is something that we all push off.
I feel like you're pretty organized though.
I can be pretty organized.
Yeah.
It's the time. I do always feel like I need to take a week off to start this project,
Yeah.
And maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe that is actually the answer. Our point is also to our listeners is that we're all in this together. If you feel like getting all the documents and passwords together feels like a giant project, we are there with you. So let's learn together.
Okay.
What we did is come up with some actual checklists and advice on how we can all feel more organized at getting all the documents and all the information together.
And if you are naturally genetically organized, you can just skip through some of this shit. Mm-hmm. Okay. So my first question was, before you get everything together, my first question really was well, where do I put it? Where do I store it? So if you're old school, you can get an actual binder, which I think we were going to get one to show you. For those of you who are just listening, we just showed a visual of a big binder. Okay. Also, you can do that. And I like these tips about you just need clear labels. You need one main location. So that would be the binder, and shared access. So if it's an actual physical binder, just tell someone else where it is.
For me, how I've chosen to organize so far, again, I've got a lot to do. I have a Dropbox drive with all of my parents' digital paperwork. They are a medical assistant, so I have to digitally send in renewal forms, receipts, all those things. So I have a digital file of those that I keep on hand. And frankly, I have a digital file of power of attorney, all of that. I've
Did
scanned
you use a
it
scanner
all.
app?
Absolutely.
Okay, what scanner? I feel like we should share this. What scanner app do you use? Not everyone has a scanner app, and it's changed my life.
I scan Ace.
Mine is called Genius Scan.
Okay. Yeah, the scanning app is incredible. We also have a home office, and there's a file cabinet that we got, and I have a dedicated space in there, essentially the binder, but in a physical file cabinet, and I have files in there that I have organized by year. So, because when it comes to medical assistants, you're doing these yearly renewals. It helps sometimes even to go back to the year previous to look at what I did. You know what I mean?
And what's in those? Is it receipts?
It's receipts, it's bank statements, it's the actual application form or the renewal form. It's proof of receipts from their spend down money. It's stuff like that. So I also get a lot of letters and documents from the county with medical assistants. So I keep any important ones. For instance, I just got a letter about their elderly care waiver elderly care waiver obligation that's been changed for 2026 because of price increases. So I got the paperwork. I knew the number was wrong. I called the county. We got it all figured out. But on that paperwork that they sent me, they're going to send me new paperwork, but I also keep note of like the date I called, who I talked to. Like I write all of that on that initial paper. Yep. And so I save both copies in case anything ever comes into question. I know exactly where like the proof is, so to say.
Because you have to kind of become your own little lawyer for you and your parents, you know, like, no, may I approach the bench, providing this document here, Exhibit A, and I wrote when I called you last, right? Don't you? You have to be a little lawyer. Yeah. Okay, what we did, me and my sister, we have a shared Google Doc. And that was great. We started it because we needed to actually get all of our parents' bills in order because we needed to understand when everything happened. My mom was not looking at the bills, which I think a lot of you guys are in the situation where your one parent is managing all the finances. So we had to gather all of my parents' bills, so literally go through all their mail and then put it all in this document and then have like, okay, what's been paid? What's the balance? So we could see everything. That was great. That really helped us to figure out exactly what their expenses were. And then from there, we kind of grew that document. And then we decided to password protect that Google Doc. So that's another thing we'll talk about. So it's very simple. Just something where you can go where you both have access and you can both see everything.
I also keep on my phone a folder of pictures of my parents' IDs front to back. Good. I also keep their insurance cards front and back. They have a state ID card now for their health insurance too. So I keep that on my phone.
Where does that folder live in your?
It's on my phone. It's a picture folder, like a photo album. Yeah, it's called like, mom and dad or something. Okay. But I don't have like social security numbers or any of that information in there, right? That should be password protected. I feel like I'm referencing those two things all of the time.
That's a good hack. Yeah.
For people who are on medical assistance, I also have a note in my phone with their case numbers because that's always the first question that comes up is even when you're calling the county, like please enter their case number. So I have that saved. So again, quick, easy spots where you can find this information is really helpful.
Another hack that I've done or something that's helped is I just have an email folder under my email. So I have their power of attorney. That's something I feel like I need at the ready a lot. Yes, so their power of attorney and their health directive, I have scanned images. And then I have a folder in my email that says parents. So I can go in there and I can get both of those really fast because a lot of people need those two documents.
The amount of times, not to interrupt you, but the amount of times that I've also had to pull up my power of attorney paperwork on the spot is often. So that is a really, really, really great one to have on hand.
Yeah, and if you don't have a scanner app, again, get a scanner app. It'll change your life.
That is something I did not expect to talk about on this, and that is absolutely an app that I use so often. Yeah. Right now, we're coming up on tax time, and so I'm starting to get a lot of tax documents from my parents, and I scan those suckers in right away.
It's the best.
Also, if they get a letter and they're able to kind of take a picture of it, they're always crooked, right? They're never clear, they're never centered. But if we can get kind of a semi-good picture of it, you can import that in your scanning app, and kind of adjust it to be.
We should rename this episode Scanner App because I think a lot of people take pictures of documents and think that
whatever that app does is it makes the document really clear and easy to read. It
we'll put ours both in the show notes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So now we're just kind of going to break down the binder again, even though we've kind of been talking about that. But
so as we're talking about gathering all of these documents, we want to talk about where to put everything. So first of all, you go to Office Max. You get yourself, if you still have one, you get yourself a big old
Staples
binder. Yep.
Heard of it?
The other option, the digital option, is to go the route of Dropbox, shared Google Drives. Make sure you choose an option that does have the option, which most do now, to be password protected. So for either situation, whether you're going the binder route or the digital route, creating the proper subfolders is really important too. And again, this is like organization 101, but I feel like in my mind, it helps a lot.
So, and most people do a combo. Yeah. Most people have I have a combo. I have my laundry room has turned into my physical place for documents.
That's amazing.
what are the different categories that you're going to need in the digital and in the physical world. So these are kind of how we broke them down. You need, first of all, like any sort of thing that describes who the person is that the file is about. So if it's like your mom or your dad, do you have like their ID? Do you have like their passport? Do you have like anything that just identifies their social security number,
their birth
certificate, anything that identifies who they are?
If there's any marriage or divorce documents, also those are good to keep in that folder too. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. Okay. So the second folder is going to be financial. Maybe you list their accounts. They have their bank accounts, but maybe they have stock accounts or
retirement accounts,
yes,
pension accounts.
Credit cards, social security benefits, bills and subscriptions. This would be another great thing to put in this folder.
Yeah, if there's any mortgages. I mean, really anything financial.
This folder makes me sweat. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I hate it. I put it in that folder. Do I look at it? No, I don't. Don't take my advice. But I do put it in there. I feel productive putting it in the folder. I'm like, I filed it.
Yeah.
Great. I filed it.
It's also really good to gather that information, not only for ourselves, but for our loved ones if we're caregiving for them, because it also can open up the conversation to their finances a little more. And you get maybe a better picture of what their bills, expenses, investments, assets, what all of those are, which is really helpful just to know in general.
And we will talk about this later too, but about it's not so easy sometimes to get all of this from your parents, which we realize they might be holding on to it for dear life. But one tactic you could use is like, I'm just trying to get you guys organized and I just want to try to get everything in one place so that we can have it if we need it. So just trying to get organized might be a way to be like, give me that, give it to me. And also it's just a lot of times when you're talking to like a lawyer or a banker or somebody, they'll say, are there any accounts that you don't know about? This is like why it's so good to have that conversation so you can really see the larger picture of what we're up against.
Okay. So far we have their personal information. Who are they as people? We have their financial folder, right? That has all of their money, investments, expenses, stuff like that. The next folder that we recommend having is for legal documents. This is wills, trusts, power of attorney, healthcare proxies, HIPAA forms, estate planning, things like that. Anything that is part of their plan.
It is really nice to know where all these documents are because you really are going to need them.
So the next folder would be the medical information. If there's a medical emergency, these are the documents you might need to access. I would also kind of double up. I would put your power of attorney and healthcare directives in this folder for sure. Just double file that.
Double that shit.
Yeah. A list of their doctors. Who is their primary doctor? Their insurance cards, their medication lists, allergies,
oh my God,
any
the medication list.
I know. Any chronic conditions that they have.
I love how Eliesa did it. And for this one, it maybe is better to just have something on your phone that includes insurance cards, a list of their medications, and any other allergies and conditions they have. Because the amount of times that you'll have to go in to an emergency room or something, maybe a lot of you use MyChart, maybe you don't, but sometimes there isn't continuity, right? Like, let's say your parents are in one facility and then they have to go to an ER that's totally unrelated and they don't have access to any information previously. You're it. So you have to come in and say, this is their current medical situation and this is their list of medications, because they might not be able to refer back to it. And sometimes you're alone and you need to check them in and you need that insurance card readily available. So I love the idea of this one particularly being on your phone.
Mm-hmm. And medications, I also feel are one of those things that's always changing. So it's okay if it's not perfect, but as best you can. Fifth folder is their digital life. So their emails, passwords, cloud storage, online banking, anything to help with your online access.
This is kind of interesting because this is kind of talking about, how do we access our parents' bank accounts? What are their passwords? How do we get into their phone? The amount of times I've had to get into my parents' phones. So thinking about a system for where are we going to keep the passwords for everything?
How do your parents keep their passwords straight for themselves?
Oh, they don't. We had to redo them all. Yeah. We did. We literally had to redo
Is there
all their
book?
Passwords. They had no way of keeping any passwords. That was crazy. They actually didn't even do their banking online.
Sure.
In that Google Doc I was talking about, we literally have a tab for passwords, and it has been a lifesaver. And it's literally
smart.
like their Apple IDs are in there, their banking. Like I said, this is password protected, but and whenever you get a new one, you just throw it in there.
Yep.
And that has made life so much easier, especially because my sister doesn't live here.
I feel like I need to do a little bit of a refresh with my parents on that.
Don't we
I
all?
know.
Our parents both are in assisted living, but you might be at a place where like you're just starting on this journey. So like your parents have their own home and they have a place where they keep everything. And this kind of gets into the conversation again of like, okay, great, Dad, show me where all your stuff is. Does Mom know it's there? First of all, because like, God forbid something should happen to one of you. Where do you keep all your stuff? And hey, maybe we think about, just because I'm trying to organize everything, could we digitize some of this so that me and our sisters or our brothers can also see this so that we can help manage some of this? God forbid something happens to one of you. Like if Mom doesn't know all of this, can me or, my sister or my brother get in here? So that's another really important piece.
It's also really important to have passcodes to iPads or phones because a lot of them give access by your fingerprint.
Yes.
And I've had it where I needed to get into my dad's iPad. He was not available for a fingerprint at that time. And luckily we knew the password, but if we didn't, we would have kind of been very out of luck.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. That is such a good point.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there are things we are not covering. And please, if you're listening to this and you have tips of your own, please.
We want to hear them.
Yes, we want to hear them. Because this is a beast. It's a beast. Okay, if you're listening to this right now and you're like, this is so useful, I'm going to send this to my sister, I'm going to send this to my cousin or my friend who's like going through this, take a minute right now, share this episode. You will save them a ton of time. Go for it.
I hope you're still with us, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope
we haven't bored you to death.
I know. We knew that this is an episode that's one of those that's like, it's so important, but it's so kind of clunky to talk about. Like we're even just trying to talk about organization. We're like, this makes sense, right? It makes sense, everyone. Also, rest assured that in the show notes, I will lay this out.
Yeah.
So it'll be clear to look at as well to maybe pair with our conversation.
Organize the organizing.
And now the 6th folder is home and personal. If there are any garage codes, any pet care keys on it.
Again, if your parents live in a home and there's a lot of things that they manage in their home, like let's say they have like someone who cleans their home, or they have like someone who gardens for them, or like
lawn service, snow removal.
It just might be good for you to kind of have a sense of like, who are those people? That might be another good thing to put in that folder. The other thing that we actually gathered, which we have a folder for now too, along this process you get a lot of people referring different services to you, and I have found like there was a certain point when my sister and I needed to put all of that in one place. So we started a tab again on that Google Doc that has like caretakers or other services or other resources that we need to know about that maybe we don't need today, but we might have to refer back to.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's another good tip is like, if you're getting random texts or like you see something, maybe you see something online, you're like, ooh, this would be really helpful for another time. Grab that and make its own folder.
Okay, so the next folder, and I think this is the last folder.
It's the darkest folder.
It's the end of life wishes folder. And so when you're ready, this is a big conversation to have with your parents, but it is such a gift to have it, which is, what are their wishes? What are their plans? Maybe they've already made funeral plans or have grave plots or wish to be cremated. My parents' wishes have changed along the way too. So it's actually a good conversation to revisit. But if they do have anything purchased, it's a good folder to know who to call when you need to arrange burial or cremation services.
It has on here if they have like obituary things they want in there, if there are certain people that they would like to notify.
There are also funeral preferences, like if they're have a certain religious ceremony they want, if they want it really simple, if they don't want a funeral at all. That is also sometimes a wish of someone. That's all good information to have on the ready. It just takes such a weight off during that time.
We were following someone on Instagram. Her handle is the Budget Mom, I believe. And she actually dedicated an entire post to this idea of having a legacy binder.
Ooh,
with
I like
the
that.
idea that this is the binder she wishes she had from her mom that she could reference to do all of the logistical things we're talking about here, because losing someone is so emotional. You don't think about all of the practical things you're going to have to be doing as you're managing your emotions. And the last thing you want to be doing is having to like research and get through passwords. And, you know, it's so frustrating to do when you're not grieving, and then to be doing it while you're grieving. Her suggestion was like, this is the greatest gift you can give someone, is to be organized and have a legacy binder for them.
I love that name, a legacy binder.
I know. It's good,
I
right?
don't think I ever picked up on that. That's what we should be calling this.
Yes.
The legacy binder. Also a good thing to consider for the end of life wishes. I know some people really like to write their obituaries. Obviously, that is something you could keep in the folder. But also, one thing to note that I feel like was a surprise to me when we were doing funeral planning with my parents is how much money an obituary actually costs in print. It is very expensive.
Oh, really? An obituary
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
How much is it?
I mean, it goes like per word. So they can be thousands of dollars.
What?
Yeah. It's
Get
like,
out of here.
you know how like some people want like a lengthy obituary?
Yeah.
They want it in a paper. They want it, you know? It's
No
like
way.
a lot of money these days. Yeah. Now, most funeral homes do offer an online obituary for free.
Oh.
How generous.
How generous.
Like, oh my God.
Thank you.
It
Gosh,
is
I'm
like-
learning so much from you. I love when I learn from you.
Oh, it is like, I remember just being like, oh, that's not in budget. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, my sister and I just have been talking about that. We're like, do you know if mom and dad have like any plans? So speaking of which, I think, you know, we could have led with this, but we're kind of going to close with it more, is how to start the conversation about all of this, like with your parents, if they haven't surrendered all of their information to you. Or maybe they've surrendered part of it, but they haven't surrendered all of it. Maybe you're at a place where, like I am, where we've kind of gotten through a lot of the financial and legal stuff, but we haven't talked about the end of life stuff. So a couple of really good conversation starters are, hey, mom, dad, we're starting to get, you know, our stuff together, and it made me think about ... So it made me think about, like, where do you keep your will? Could we have access to your, you know, to like your banking so we could help you? Another great starter is, if something happened and I needed to help, or one of us needed to step in, you know, how could we do that? Is there a way that we could talk about us having access to some of these things? Another good conversation starter would be like, you know, it would really help me worry less if maybe me or my brother or sister could have access to some of these things so that we could really help you. So those are, I think, some really nice ways to kind of like get in there and start and put a drink in front of them, you know?
Yeah. And I think, you know, if they're resistant to it, that's okay. That's going to happen. And just keep trying, though, because this stuff is really important. I think both Robyn and I have had the personal experience that we've been kind of scrambling, and then we kind of realized it doesn't have to be this way. And so this is our effort, ourselves included, to talk to our listeners and to ourselves about how important kind of getting all this information organized is. And again, taking it little by little is okay. I also feel like I need to just take a week off to get this all done for my parents and
Right.
for myself. Just
Right.
button it all up, right? That's what I really want to do. But realistic outcome is little by little.
Another
step by
great
step.
quote from Budget Mom. She says, planning ahead isn't about money. It's about love, clarity, and reducing chaos.
I love that.
And that's why she says, like, being organized is something really great that you can do. So again, all of the stuff we're saying, we've kind of come at it from a point of view of like, we're the kids talking to the parents, but obviously, because we're sandwiched, we're also thinking about what we can do for our own children.
Yeah.
So not to stress you out, because this is a lot. But obviously, if you're going to do it once for your parents, it's really good to think about reflecting on your own. And I think we have very much had this experience. We do these episodes and we learn about all this, and from the point of view as us as kids to our parents, and then we're like, wait a minute, but I got to do this for myself. I got to go get my shit in order. So this list not only applies from one point of view, but it also applies from the other point of view of being the parent to the kids, which I think is a really helpful way to think about it.
Yep. There's one last resource that I really want to share before we end this episode. And that is a website called Care Out Loud. The website is wecareoutloud.org. And this website is powered by One Family Foundation, which is a nonprofit founded by Bradley Cooper. Yep, the actor Bradley Cooper. His dad passed away of cancer. And that was a really, as he learned, really challenging experience to navigate through. And so he is one celebrity who has really focused on giving back and creating resources for the caregiving community and to help other caregivers. So I actually last week spoke with a wonderful woman who leads Care Out Loud. Her name is Eliesa, and we had a lovely conversation. And she is the one leading everything. And she is an incredible caretaker, incredible mother herself. She has a wonderful story, and how she kind of came into the nonprofit world. Like, she is a badass. But Care Out Loud realized how overwhelming and isolating caregiving can be, and it exists to make caregivers feel less invisible. They want things to be easier to navigate and impossible to ignore. So what I love about this website, you all need to go to it. Again, it is wecareoutloud.org, and the website is very fun. It's designed well. It has fun colors.
That's what we need.
Yep. But it's kind of tried to pull information because there's so much information out there, but it's overwhelming to find, right? And so what Annalise described to me was like, if I have like 5 minutes, I need to find some information. Boom. How can this help me? So they've really compiled information from the internet for caregivers, which is helpful. But they also have these things called care cards. So essentially on the website, you can check like, I want to have a conversation with my parents and my siblings about end of life. And you check those boxes and it populates these little cards, if you will, on your screen. And it's conversation starters to get certain topics going. Sometimes starting the conversation is the hardest part, but there's a bunch of different categories, a bunch of different scenarios, and it is quick, it is clear, it is helpful, it is real, and I was just really impressed with this website when I first went to it. I have actually used it myself also. I know. They also have
testimonial.
They have also developed caregiver cheat sheets, which are something that they're making in real time. I have one printed out here. It says financial and legal essentials. So again, it's kind of what we're talking about today, like a little checklist of things to get in order, but it's broken down into like a critical list, like the things you really must have, your next priority then, and then the things that are nice to have. So there are resources out there on this Care Out Loud website that are really easy to just find, click, print, download. Everything on their website is free too. This isn't like a subscription you have to pay for. This isn't something you have to opt into. You just have to go to the site. It's like they're just trying to make it as easy as possible. So
yeah, this is good.
Yep.
So
that's what I've got. I know.
Damn. I mean, if this doesn't light a fire under you, I don't know what will.
Click on our show notes to kind of get an idea of what we were talking about today too. I'm a visual person, so like I need this laid out visually too.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Was this fun? I don't know. It was. This has been so amazing for me. I'm like personally doing the research and trying to do this myself. So this has been like a tutorial, and I like always learn something from you. I love that we're just sharing resources with each other, you know, because we're like, how do you do it? Well,
I
how do
know.
you do it? You know?
Well, I think this is the brilliance about this podcast
Yeah.
is that we are, whether you're listening or whether it's us talking, yammering
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
It's like we are in this together. Like we're literally learning in real time. We are in it just
Yeah.
as much as you. So,
And sometimes it's not deep, people. It's
Nope.
just about how to organize the paperwork.
Yep.
Okay?
you know, when you do something and then, you know, you go on with life and then you're like, oh, thank you. Thank you, past self. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
This, I feel like one day will be our greatest gift
Yes.
to ourselves in organizing all this stuff. Right?
Especially because, like, I could lose my mind, like, kind of early in
God,
life. So
yeah.
I'm just like, I'm doing this while I still have my marbles. You know what I mean?
The legacy binder.
Because the legacy binder, when the blueberry pills wear off, like, it's not going to matter because I will have written all the notes. So in closing, we want to give you permission to go slow and do these things just one at a time.
Creating a legacy binder is a huge project, and it can be a work in progress, as it is for all of us.
We will link all the checklists in the show notes, and if this episode made you open one drawer or one email or one folder, one piece of mail, we are proud of you.
You are doing the hard things. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and hopefully you can take away some helpful info and tips. All links and resources can be found in our show notes.
Please share this episode with anyone you think this might help. And if you have a topic that you'd like to talk more with us about in the sandwich generation world, please slide into our DMs on Instagram. Our handle is @thesandwichgenerationpod. We hope you'll be back for more combos with us soon. And remember, no matter whose diaper you're changing, you're never alone.
That was great.
That was great. That was really good. All right.